At first light, Monterey Bay looks eternal. The ocean breathes against the cliffs, sunlight spills across the water, and below the waves, an emerald kingdom sways. Kelp forests, giants of the sea, stretch 100 feet from the seafloor to the sunlit surface. They cradle 500 species of fish, 30 kinds of marine mammals, and an endless parade of strange invertebrates. For centuries, these living cathedrals have been the crown of the Pacific coast. They were more than beauty. They were armor against storms, filters for pollution, lungs that breathe oxygen into an ocean that, without them, gasps for air. But paradise has enemies, and Monterey Bay, the so-called Pearl of the West Coast, has learned how fragile even the wildest beauty can be. By 2020, half the kelp forests here were gone, not thinned, not reduced, erased. It began with a single sickness, sea star wasting syndrome. Within years, the great sunflower stars, one of the ocean's top predators, were melting into nothing. Their disappearance opened the door for a siege unlike anything scientists had seen before. Sea urchins, tiny, purple, spiny herbivores. Once controlled, now unstoppable. Billions of them scoured the seabed, gnawing kelp down to its roots. What had been underwater jungles became deserts. The silence was eerie. Fish gone, otters absent, entire reefs smothered under armies of urchins, each one a reminder of balance lost. Some stretches of coast lost 95% of their kelp, an extinction in slow motion, and the bay, once a fortress of life, was collapsing into ruin. This wasn't just the sea star's fault. Humans had weakened the system long before the disease arrived. Through the mid-20th century, commercial fleets stripped Monterey's waters of cod, rockfish, and other urchin predators. Decades of overfishing left the food web brittle, waiting for a spark. When the sea stars vanished, there was nothing left to hold the urchins back. In some areas, divers counted more than 100 urchins per square meter, 60 times what the ecosystem once sustained. The urchins weren't villains. They were prisoners of our mistakes, multiplying in a world with no brakes. And as they consumed the forests, the bay itself became a warning. This is what happens when balance is broken. The otters' influence didn't stop at the kelp forests. They became guardians of entire ecosystems. In eelgrass meadows, their digging stirred the seafloor, creating microhabitats where biodiversity flourished. In coastal marshes like Elkhorn Slough, otters turned into unexpected defenders. The European green crab, an invasive, fast-breeding predator, had been tearing marshlands apart. A single female could unleash nearly 200,000 eggs a year. But otters hunted them relentlessly, curbing the invasion and giving the marshes room to heal. These weren't just hungry animals. They were ecological engineers, repairing damage humans didn't know how to fix. But not every story has a clean ending. In many places, the barrens are too far gone. Millions of urchins remain, so starved they're barely edible even for otters. Here, humans must intervene. Divers descend in teams, scraping urchins off the rocks by hand. Entire patches of seafloor are cleared, one painstaking square at a time. It's slow. It's grueling. But it works. In cleared zones, kelp seedlings take root again, schools of fish return, and the empty silence fills with life. Programs like Sea Trees have already restored more than 100,000 square feet of kelp forest. It's a beginning, not a finish line. A war fought not with bombs, but with persistence. And alongside the otters, humans are finally learning to fight with nature, not against it. At sunset, the bay is calm. Otters raft together in groups, grooming their pups, diving for food, playing in the kelp. Around them, young forests sway in the currents. Monterey Bay may never return to its untouched past. But maybe that's not the point. The story here isn't about going back. It's about learning to move forward, together. A 40-pound predator once nearly erased from Earth has become a keystone of survival. Each urchin cracked, each meadow restored, is proof that even in a damaged Eden, life can claw its way back. If we step aside long enough for balance to rebuild, if we let wolves roam forests, otters patrol coastlines, and wild systems heal themselves, then maybe we can keep calling this planet home. Because the wildness is still worth fighting for.